What's up, guys? Welcome back. Mick Adley here, doing a little Diamond Dynasty today. I'm going to show you my team. It's actually going to be a quick game. This is a 3-inning game. You'll see why here in just a moment. I am the home, or I'm actually the away team. He's the home team, the Perp Topes. It's the team I'm playing. I'm the Miami Marauders. This is just to show you guys a little gameplay. I've never done a Diamond Dynasty. This is the first year I've done it, so this was actually pretty exciting to see. And to keep the cards that you do earn, you actually get to keep them, so I did not know that until I started playing. I'm used to playing Madden, where you play the guys until their contract's over, and that's about it. But enough with the talking. We're going to watch some gameplay here real quick. This is the top of the first inning. As you do see, I am the Miami Marauders. The very first at bat, generally I'd like to swing a lot, kind of let him think that I'm a free swinger. And then after that, you'll notice I start to watch a little bit. Towards the boring parts of the clip, I'm going to kind of speed it up and cut a couple scenes, whatnot. The first inning here is pretty exciting, though, so you probably want to see most of the at-bats. As I have Eric Hosmer swinging at the first pitch, taking it to deep center. Thought the guy was actually going to catch that. He was pretty close to catching it, but ended up bouncing right in front of his feet, and he ends up diving there. But I got a guy in first, 1 out, top of the first. Pitcher's only throwing 6 pitches. I'm going against Doug Fister. Used to pitch for the Tigers. I'm pretty sure he's with somebody else now. I'm not sure. I think the Nationals, but I'm not going to assume because I don't know. Here's my created character. I didn't know that you can actually make one created character per team, and you can play him at any position, a pitcher or field, or typically use him as a utility. But that was pretty cool. 1-2 pitch. I ended up fouling off right there. But this pitch here I take pretty deep. I thought that was out of here. He threw a fastball right down the middle of the plate, hits off literally the top of that brick of that wall. I thought that was out. I almost over-rotated to third base. I ended up catching myself and just kind of returning to second. I didn't want to kind of forfeit that out there. Here's my heavy home run hitter, Brandon Moss. That's why I have him batting cleanup. Typically, he at least gets a home run a game, if not multiple. And you'll see why here. I do swing a little free with him, though. I did swing at that dirt pitch. I'm a fucking sucker for the dirt pitches. But 0-2 pitch, fastball low, and adios, amigo. As the late Stuart Scott would say, mojo! So ended up knocking the hell out of that ball. Deep center, left center field. And that was gone. So I apologize if you guys hear a humming on the microphone. I have a cheap mic. It's actually attached to a headset that squeaks, that has a little hum to it. Anyway, Hanley Ramirez takes it to deep center field. So I'm actually hitting the hell out of this guy right now. I know my Diamond Dynasty average is a 233 for my team, which is not very good. Well aware as I am a free swinger. When I get into the zone, I'm a little bit better. Not swinging at everything, but Chase Headley up, third baseman from the Yankees. I'm going to send my guy in perfect hit and run here, as you'll see. He gets over to third base. He cuts it off just in time. If that hit the gap, I would definitely score and at least have a triple as well. That's kind of a deep gap of the field right there. Brian Dozier up. He's the second baseman from the Twins. Generally, I'm very good with him against left-handed pitchers. I swing at that curveball in the dirt again. As I said, I'm a complete sucker for that sometimes. But again, left-handed pitchers, I'm good with him and Hanley. Not typically good with him on right-handed pitchers. As you see, I get a two-seam fastball inside there. It actually cuts back at me, and I was a little late and kind of jammed me. Popped out, so I'm okay with that. I already have a 3-0 lead in the top of the first. He's already starting to feel the sweat here. Joe Mauer used to be catcher for the Twins, now first baseman if I'm not mistaken. And he goes 2-0 on me here. So he's putting himself in a little bit of a hole. And with that pitch right there is an outside changeup, and I was able to rip it to right. He did miss it in right field, but that didn't really affect the play too much because the guy from third was already coming in to score. I do have my pitcher up, so I completely batted around, ninth batter, and I almost take him yard with the pitcher. That was super close. I just got underneath it. I didn't move the marker up. As you do see, I use control hitting, I guess it's called, where you actually have to move the marker up towards the pitch. So here's where I'll start cutting it in and out of the at-bats a little bit to kind of cut through to the end. Me pitching to him was a little boring just because he didn't do anything with it. But he pops out to McAdley in dead center field, as they call him Marcus Rip in this, because there's no way to call him Mick Adley, unfortunately. And I just thought that fit because he rips the hell out of it most of the time. But Joe Mauer for him. He was batter number 2, grounds out to shortstop, and his created player comes up, Lou Kazoo, or whatever you want to call him. But I ended up throwing him a low inside fastball, which was almost a mistake. He pops it out to deep left to Curtis Granderson, and that is actually the side already. So I made quick work of him. I didn't want him to get too comfortable with me at bat. I threw a lot of garbage pitches, which I do. I do throw a lot of out-of-zone pitches. But Granderson, I do show most of his at-bat here and the most of the next couple at-bats until it gets a little quieter. Granderson jacks it to right field. Looks like again that it was almost gone. I should have had about 3 more home runs than I actually did in this game. I had Granderson and McAdley hit it to deep right field off the top of the wall. And he's only thrown 29 pitches with Fister, but he's going to actually change him out. It's Mr. Slim Shady, which I'm glad I beat the hell out of him. Inside curveball, Hosmer takes yard. He says, out of here, baby. So typically that was a crushing shot. Inside curveball or a slider, it looked like he threw me, and I sat back on it. I was actually still a little early on it. But I ended up jacking that one out of the park. So that's about 6-0, top of the second. So I already doubled from the first inning again. It was actually 4-0 in the first inning. But this is going to be the last at-bat that I show in its entirety. As you see, he's got me 2-0 on the count, 3-0, just throwing crazy. What I should have did here is I should have waited, and I should have at least watched this next pitch. But I figured he was going to throw me a low fastball, and I figured that I would be able to take it, which was actually changeup. So I outthought myself there. I thought he was going to get very basic and just throw fastball, but he did not. So as you see, 0-2 count already on Moss. I flipped towards the end already. And strike 3. So I actually took it. I usually swing at that, especially it's a high inside. I'll get a little early on it and just take that out, but it didn't look like it worked out for me. Hanley Ramirez grounds out to the pitcher. And I got a little too swing happy here, as you can see. I figured that everything I was going to take for at least extra bases, but I'm working Cano to a full count here. And he grounds out to first to Hosmer. So, all in all, pretty successful on defense so far. I'm actually keeping him hitless until this here, which is only the bottom of the second. But he ends up taking me deep. Did not take me out, thank God. It looks like the trend in this field here is hitting it off the top of that brick up there. I should have threw it to second. I would have had him out. But that's 3 people so far that hit it off that same spot of the wall. So either case, though, 1 out. I do get him to pop out to first base. Excuse me, I'm yawning. It's really early here in the morning. And try to do, I've actually used that before, where I'll catch the ball with one of my basemen and actually will dive towards the guy. If he's leaning off the bag a little bit, you will actually tag him out. It's worked at first. I've thrown him out from right field. He kind of over-rotates around first, and I actually threw him out. So top of third, Chase Headley. 0-2 count. Low inside pitch and up the middle. So that's a good leadoff at bat right there. This guy's already like, man, I don't know if I should just concede, quit, or what as of right now. So I ended up stealing with Headley. I ended up striking out with Dozier on purpose. I know it's a little overkill to a guy that's already down here, but 6-0, Joe Mauer comes up. I'm going to show you this last at-bat because this will be the last at-bat of the game, as you will see why here in just a moment. 1-0 count. Mauer takes it deep. So that one parks over the Giants' landing. So that's 8-0, top of the third. The game is pretty much over already. I do feel bad for this kid, as you will see what he does here to my pitcher before he rage quits. I thought that was quite hilarious, and I expected to quit right after this anyway. So I don't know if he quits or he concedes. I think he does concede, so that's cool. At least we get a legit win. He doesn't get a disconnect. So that's pretty much the gist of the Diamond Dynasty, guys. That was a really quick game. I have a couple more games I will post here in the near future. Again, I apologize for the humming on the microphone. Once I'm able to get a brand new microphone, I will start using that as well. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, hit the subscribe button for my YouTube page at McAdley. You can hit me up at twitch.tv/McAdley as well. I'm going to start streaming here again in a couple days. In tune for the House of Wolves on Destiny. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the Diamond Dynasty.